Hey guys, hope all is well. I'm going to go over a question that could come up on the Regents in a sense of like a similar question could come up on the Regents. So let's read the question. In the diagram below, AF, right? So we have AF, which is this entire line, right? From A all the way to F. I know my line was crazy crooked, but you get the idea. AF and DB, right? DB, these two lines intersect at a single point, in this case is C. And AD and FBE are drawn such that the measure of angle D is 65. We see 65 here. Okay, cool. The measure of CBE is 115. 115 is right here. Okay, cool. And DC is 7.2. AC is 9.6. And FC is 21.6. So these are the lengths of the respective line. So from F to C, that length is 21.6. From A to C, that length is 9.6. And from D to C, that length is 7.2. What is the question asking? The question is asking, what is the length of CB? Okay, so how should we go about approaching this? Well, for one, we should determine whether the triangles are similar. How do we determine if two triangles are similar? Well, two triangles are similar by either side, 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 angle, or angle, angle, angle. So let's see if we could find one of these, right? So we don't know all three sides. So we can't say SSS. For the bigger triangle, which is CFB, so this triangle right here, this is the bigger triangle. We only know one side, so it can't be side angle side either. So we're left with angle angle. Let's see if we can find another angle. Well, this angle right here is 115. If I use what I've learned early in the semester, I should realize that these two angles right here form 180 degrees. So this angle, as a result, must be 65 because this is a linear pair. This is a straight line. So these two angles must add to 180, right? So you don't have to write the 180, but if it's helpful, write it, right? So I'm going to write 180 right here. Again, you don't have to write it if you don't want to. So we know currently that angle D is congruent to angle CBF. And we have to look for another pair of angles. What you should notice, they mention the word intersect. Anytime two lines intersect, they form a specific kind of angle. Try to take a minute to recall this name. Why are these two angles congruent? What are they called? Okay, if you said vertical angles, that is true. These are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent. So we can say angle DCA is congruent to angle, sorry for my lag in the annotation, is congruent to angle BCA. F. So now we just proved that two triangles are congruent by angle. So we can write a similarity statement. So imagine that these two triangles are drawn separately, which they are. So triangle DCA is similar, pardon me. This is the similarity symbol to triangle. Now you have to realize that D matches up with B in the other triangle, so I'm going to write that first. C matches up with itself, so I'm going to write that second. And then we have F. These two triangles are similar by angle. Now at this point, we can use what we did last class. So you should remember that the sides must be in proportion. So like for instance, DC, and sorry if my D's look like a triangle and vice versa. Let me maybe draw this. So this was a triangle, okay? So I know it looked like a D. Anyway, so DC corresponds to BC. So we can write a proportion that represents that. DA matches up with BF. So we can write that proportion. And AC or CA, it doesn't matter. I'll write CA just to be consistent. CA corresponds to CF. So now they're asking for CB. Well, which one of these have CB in it? So we know CB is right here. So I have to use something with DC over BC. And now I have to also ask, what do I know? I don't know DA. I don't know the length of this line. So I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to use what I know to help me find what I don't know, right? So I'm going to now set up a proportion. So we have DC over BC equals to CA over CF. And now basically I'm just going to substitute and cross multiply. So we have DC, so I'm just going to carry this down here. DC is what? DC is 7.2. Over BC. We don't know BC. Let's call that X. Equals CA. What's CA? CA is 9.6. And CF, what is CF? CF is 21.6. So when we cross multiply, at this point we have to cross multiply. I hope you guys recall that from algebra. We're going to multiply the top with the top with the bottom and the bottom with the top. So it's going to be the butterfly method, right? So it's going to be this times that, and then this times this. I hope you'll remember that from algebra. So 7.2, and sorry, let me just clear my calculator. 7.2 times 21.6 is 155.2. 155.52, pardon me, is equal to 9.6x. And now in order to get x by itself, we have to do the inverse operation of whatever is happening to the x, and that is multiplication. So we have to do the inverse, which is divide. So we're going to divide and do it in a different color. Divide by 9.6. So this divided by 9.6 and this divided by 9.6. Whatever we do on one side, we have to do to the other. So at this point, we're going to put that in the calculator, and that will be our answer. So 9.6, and we're going to get 16.2, which is 3. All right. I hope this was helpful. Please rewind the video if you need to, and take notes as you're watching, if you didn't do so the first time. All right. Thank you, guys.